Hi all, and welcome to this week's racing-based preview. We've got some good action at Caulfield this weekend, the PB Lawrence Stakes, and for 3-year-olds with the Vane Stakes and Quizette Stakes, which is now known as the Winslow Group Stakes. But to help me dissect the races and come up with a winner, I've got Rick Chapman joining me. Rick, good morning, mate.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, good. Looking forward to some good races on the weekend, and let's get straight into Caulfield and see if we can find the winner of the PB Lawrence.
Exactly. Well, we've had some good races in the swimming at the Olympics, so let's parlay that into Melbourne and Sydney form. That PB Lawrence is, gee, it's a good race. It's an interesting race on so many levels. Lots and lots of speed, which almost makes you want to think that old Smokin' Joey will be well suited. I'm particularly interested to see how well the cleaners come back if he goes forward from his inside draw, and whether any of them will be able to match Lord of the Sky early, who's racing in tremendous form. I've changed my mind 4 or 5 times, but I think form is the key here, and I'm going to go for Lord of the Sky. I think his last win showed that he's back to his best, and if they let him lead on his own, then he'll take a mile running down and around this course. Mahuda's has to have improved from his first up run, which was outstanding. Jamaica trialled particularly well, so she's going to be storming home. Smokin' Joey will be huge odds, and I actually like him to rattle home too. But the big question mark is the cleaner. Does he go forward and upset Lord of the Sky, or does he sit behind him and let Lord of the Sky have his own way? I'm going to punt on the fact that he'll sit behind Lord of the Sky, and if that's the case, then I think Lord of the Sky will win from Mahuda, Smokin' Joey, and the cleaner.
Well, Lord of the Sky has to go forward, really, Rick, from the wide gate, so there's no real doubt about that. The cleaner, based on his trial, he'll go forward. Arnold trialled him and he couldn't hold him back in the trial. He just jumped and wanted to run, same as he always has. So I can't see them trying to restrain him or even being able to. So as you said earlier, the pace will be on, Rick. Mahuda, as predicted last time, sat off the speed from that wider gate and didn't press, but surely he'll be closer to the speed this time and pour a bit more pressure on. There's a couple of others that'll be up there as well. So you're right, the pace will be on. That'll suit back markers, and I find it hard to go past a mare with cracking first up form, especially in Group 1 races. Suavito, she just keeps producing first up over 1,400 at Caulfield. She won the CF4 Stakes, the Futurity Stakes, beating better fields than this. There's a couple of these similar that are lining up, but it was a deeper race on both occasions. So Suavito, if she's anywhere near she was her last 2 campaigns, she'll get a nice run behind that speed and be ready to explode first up.
She does have great first up form, there's no doubt about that. I just wonder how far back she'll get though.
Yeah, on my speed map, Rick, I see her right behind the speed. She sat there pretty much, I think she was 3 pairs back her last couple of first up runs. And I think with the mapping, the way it's going to map on Saturday, she'll be the same, 3 pairs back. So, and she'll probably sit 1 out. If she gets caught 3 wide, I think entirely Platinum's going to get caught 3 wide as well up on the pace. So she'll have cover, and that's not a bad thing, being 3 wide with cover at Caulfield over 1,400. So I think she's well placed. And if you look at times, her times superior to any of these horses. It's hard to line them up sometimes, but you look at Mahuda, his times are 6 lengths on average slower than hers. And the last time they both competed at Caulfield was on the same day. She ran 6 lengths quicker than he did. So I think there's a bit of credibility in lining those times up. The only horses to get nearer on times at Caulfield were Set Square. First up last campaign, she was unlucky when she didn't win. Carried a big weight as well. So I think at $34, Set Square's way over the odds. And the other one that maps extremely well, Rick, is Miss Rose Delago. She's got a great record at the track. Times she can match it with these as well. So I think it's a mare's race for mine. I think Suavito, Miss Rose Delago, Set Square, and maybe Mahuda punching up there as well.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing about Miss Rose Delago, and I'm glad you mentioned her because I was going to mention her as an outside chance too, because Damien Oliver's on her and he rode Lord of the Sky last start to win at weight for age, and he's I don't know whether he's elected to ride her. You'd had to be hard pressed to think he got sacked from his great ride on Lord of the Sky, so he might well have chosen to ride her first up in this race. So yeah, a strong lead for punters, but many chances. I still think the cleaner holds the key.
Yeah, surely. I don't think Lord of the Sky is going to get the trip. No, I think Robbie Lang's clutching at straws here and hoping he will, but I just can't see it. For mine, I ticked in the last couple of times he ran, got off him stupidly last start, because you know how many times can you keep forgiving a horse's run? So, but it was a great win last time. I can't see him getting the trip. And on Lord of the Sky, his little brother, his full brother, debuts at Caulfield in the Bain Stakes on Saturday. And I've tipped him at big odds. He's gone around at 25 to 1. Being a debutant in this race, his barrier trial was sensational. He ploughed through that heavy ground, and he looks pretty special. He looks exactly like Lord of the Sky as well. So we could see a big run from him. And at $24, I was just, it's an even race. There's some great chances in it, but it helped sway my decision, and I'm going to have a crack at him each way.
Ah, good. Well, I didn't realise that was his little brother.
By the way.
Is that Zana Harry?
Yeah, that's the one, Rick. Zana Harry, yep.
Yeah, well, he's going to have to be good to beat Russian Revolution, because I think he's outstanding. I think he's a Group 1 horse, Russian Revolution, and he just looks to get the perfect run just in behind the pace, and I think you'll win it very easily, unless your Zana Harry is something right out of the box. But on exposed form, Russian Revolution should beat them all comfortably. He's very good.
He is, but we get to see him on a good track too, Rick. And I'm just wondering whether his performance has been a little bit flattered by the soft tracks, being by Schnitzel. So we'll see what he can do on the good track, but that might be a bit of a leveler. And having said that, Zana Harry's by Dainrich as well, and we know they like the wet. So yeah, it's like I said, the odds have swung me in favour of that. But yeah, Russian Revolution will be extremely hard to beat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what about the fillies?
That is such a hard race. I'm not going to go anywhere near it as far as punting's concerned. If I have to pick one, I'm going to pick the South Australian horse, Modern Wonder. I thought that was a good win first up, but I just don't know the rest of the form, how they've all come up from spells and things of this nature. To me, it's a lottery. It's not even a have a bet race. But I'll go Modern Wonder to win from Sword of Light, and toss in Hot Dip for third.
Yeah, it is a tough race, but I'm pretty keen on one, Rick. I did like Tony McAvoy's Concealer, but she's drawn wide, and I think she just might need a bit too much luck and have to go back a bit far, be giving them a big start. So with that in mind, I'm on Sword of Light. She goes well second up, recorded a good win last campaign second up. First up run was great, and I think she'll take a stack of improvement out of this. She's got barrier 1, so she won't have to go back and look for cover. She can just jump, settle where comfortable, and she's got a great turn of foot, and I think she can overpower these being just off the pace. So Sword of Light, I think, is a special for me on Saturday, and I'll be wagering heavily on that one at 7 to 1.
Oh, good. Well, I won't be having a bet, so I'll cheer yours home.
All right. Okay, mate. Well, that's 3 covered at Caulfield. Over to Sydney. We've got that superstar 2-year-old, well, now 3-year-old resuming, Capitalist. Can they beat him?
No. No, he's a bit too good for them. He'll, even with the big weight, his trials were good. I mean, he had to work to beat El Divino in the last trial. And then El Divino was so flat, he was horrible. He's had his next trial, so that's a bit of an issue. But I just think everybody knows I'm a mad capitalist fan, and he looked really good in his 2 trials. He should be too good for them. The interesting thing is to see what price he comes up. That Marlon O'Brien trialled really well too, really well. So he's obviously very talented. So I'm hoping he'll run second.
Lapita backing up from Ballina on Monday.
Well,
Bit of feedback there.
that's the features covered, but nothing else that really catches your eye, Rick, that's worth having a crack at on the weekend?
Oh, no, it's a pretty tough program. Fast and Rocking should win Melbourne. I know he's got a big weight, and I know he's a gunner horse, but gee, he does look well in that race, I think.
He does. I'll put against him actually in that one. And again, I tipped him last start, and I could be jumping ship, 1 run too early here, but Palantino, first up last campaign, should have won easily. And I know the stable are really confident he can run a massive race first up. So odds again, he's 750 Palantino. I'm going to take those juicy odds and hope he can knock off Fast and Rocking.
Yeah, I'll have a little bit on a long shot. I don't normally do this, but I saw him trial really well. Sense of Occasion, race 7 in Sydney at Rose Hill on Saturday. Chris Lee's horse, I think he'd be big odds. I know he's a stayer in a sprint race here, but gee, he looked good in his trial about 2 weeks ago. So I'm going to have a bit on Sense of Occasion each way as well.
All right, well, that's the features covered, best covered for the week, Rick. And I just mentioned McAvoy's concealer before in Melbourne, and Cam McAvoy's just jumped in the Olympics now. So I reckon we wrap this one up and I'll go cheer the Aussies home.
Good on you. All right. All the best, everybody. I love the Olympics. I'm going back to it myself.
Yep. All right. Good luck on the weekend, guys. And we'll be back next week. See you then.
Good on you. Bye.